45 minutes, 50 minutes of meeting time just because people were just relaxed and enjoying the moment. So question, can I do number 25 on line number 19? Absolutely. So let me minimize my window, which looks the same. Okay, let's do this. Let's not minimize then. So, all right, on line number 25, part of the bigger one. So it is the goofy looking diagram. Find the capacitance between A and B, then find the charge on there, and then the dielectric constant is inserted there while the battery is connected, and last was the charge on the lower capacitor, and then if the battery were removed before the dielectric in the question is inserted, what will the charge be on the 82? So question number 24 and question number 25 are asking the same thing, but they are asking, yes, okay. Okay, so yeah, so what they're doing is in 24, they're saying, okay, it's all connected, slide in a dielectric, you get a new value for C for that, and CEQ for the whole thing. And then what happens if you were to do that after disconnecting? So in looking at this, so what you're going to do is you're going to find in question 22, you're going to find the total capacitance. I sent a picture out through Remind showing you that this picture, which looks kind of goofy, I just kind of slid point C to the right a little bit, and I slid point D to the left a little bit, and just like that, it looked like a pretty standard parallel system with one branch consisting of a 2 capacitor series. So technically a family tree and mixed capacitor, but on the scale of mixed capacitor is a rather easy one, I think, I hope, once you redrew it and saw what you had there. So question number 23, what is the charge on the capacitor? So basically, once you figure out question 22 and you get the total CEQ, you use the total voltage, you can find the total amount of charge. That charge is going to be the sum total of all 3 branches. And if you're looking at your picture, branch 1 is from A to C, branch 2 is from D to C, and branch 3 is from D over to B. So those are your 3 branches. The sum total of those charges would give you the total charge of that's pushed out by your battery. I know that the D to C branch is actually 2 capacitors in a series combination. So with that, I know that the charge on one of them will equal the charge on the other because they're in a series together. So I have that in mind. So when it comes to the dielectric, so basically what's going to happen is you add a dielectric, you are going to change that particular capacitance, and that's going to affect, let's see, we're adding it to one of the 2 that's in the series. Great. So we got to change that one. Then we got to do an adding of the inverses to get a new total for the DC branch. And then I add that to the other 2 capacitors for a brand new total equivalent capacitance. Now, question 24 is use the same V, the new CEQ, and that'll give you a new amount of charge stored. When it comes to question 25 says the battery is disconnected, so you've charged everything up, disconnected the battery, and you slide in a dielectric into the same capacitor, you are going to have the same total equivalent capacitance. But because the battery's been disconnected, all the charge that's been stored on those plates is stuck. We can't lose that charge. So in question 24, we kept V the same, new CEQ, find a new total charge, and work your way through that. In question 25, you keep the original total charge, which technically wasn't asked in here, but you had to find it along the way. So you keep QT, the original QT, that's a constant. I get a new CEQ, So when I divide through, I'm going to get a new voltage for the whole system. That voltage is going to drop. You just made your system have higher capacitance to store the same charge on a higher capacitance capacitor system. Requires less voltage. So you're going to end up with less total voltage. Whatever that new voltage is, that's going to be the voltage of branch AC and the voltage of DC and the voltage of DB. So you're going to have the same voltage for every branch. That's a rule we know for parallel. Once I know the voltage for the DC branch, I can figure out the charge of the DC. No, I'm sorry. We changed the DC branch, but they're asking about the charge on the DB branch. So that's even easier. So once I know what the new total voltage is, that voltage is going to drop across the DB branch, which is the capacitor in question. So we change a different capacitor, but we're asked how it affects a second capacitor. So long story short, maybe too long a story, long story short, you keep QT the same, you find the new total voltage that the system's going to have, and then you use that voltage with the capacitor in question. Now, that entire time, I was on a different screen. So now I'm back to the normal screen where I can see all of you because I was looking at the UT. So hopefully I was still audible that entire time. If that wasn't good enough, I can do more if that kind of gets you started. And obviously it's Wednesday and it doesn't matter, it's Wednesday. There is no due date for this. So if you're trying question number 15, question number 21, question number 25, and you're trying it on Thursday, you're trying it on Friday, you're trying it next week, and there's still an issue, bring it up here. We can talk about old stuff. Send me a message, and I can send something else. So that was question 22 through 25, essentially, all kind of done at once. 25, definitely the hardest one. So thank you for that question. Yeah, so like I said, feel free to unmute and ask questions or vent or talk, or you can sign off. You can kind of wait around. In teaching, we have this thing called wait time. I'm very bad at it. Ask a question, you have to wait to allow students to think about the question, formulate an answer, and then raise their hand or select. And I'm just too impatient, I guess. Not because of you being too slow, it's me. I'm terrible at that. So here, a little bit easier for me to have wait time because I just sit. There's nothing to do. So feel free to kind of sit around and see if someone else has a question that you never thought of or whatever.
Okay, I have a really general question, just
Yep.
not even about anything physics related, but well, it is. But so how is every week going to look like leading up to like the testing day? Like the way you're teaching, are you trying to set us up so that we could take a potentially like early testing date if we just finish electricity, or?
Yeah, so my goal is we have just a little bit to do, and we're going to get into current. We're going to get into circuits. We're going to get into resistors. Resistors can combine in series and in parallel. We're going to see a lot of similarities between everything we've done for capacitors right now. We're going to see a lot of similarities with current. So if they're going to start offering up April tests, and we've got a week until April, so what is it? Today's Wednesday, so we have a week and a half until spring break. I'm going to give you a bunch of my notes that I did. I think I have notes from last year saved on my big flat panel board, so I can just use those because those will look neater, because writing with my hand on a small laptop screen isn't as neat. But I will get you all the information I'll point out which questions or which worksheets from Edmodo might be useful. I'll post the next two online. So, we usually have, this actually, the next chapter actually has three, but there's always two per chapter. This one has a third one, so I'll post all of those, so you'll have an opportunity to get some instant feedback from the UT. You've got the PQs, which are very useful in terms of preparation as well, and then you're gonna have my notes. So my goal is to not get you everything in a week and a half. What I might do is put out the whole file though, and you can work at your speed, and each week, each Friday, whatever I'll post will be me discussing the first 10 slides or the first 12 slides. There's no formula from the district that says, make sure you are teaching this many hours of instruction. There is no formula. It's whatever we think is best. Well, for AP, I'm gonna get you everything, but then I'll go through it all. So I don't intend on going through everything in a week and a half before spring break, but I will have the information out there for you so that you can buckle down and go through. And since I'm not going for spring break, I'll be able to put in a lot of stuff together so that, hopefully some extra stuff. So again, to answer your question in a very long way, to shorten it down, I'm going to get you everything so that you are ready to take that test. I don't know when the April dates are going to be, but I'm going to get you everything this weekend. I'll put it out there and I'll say, hey, the video is going to be, all right, we're talking about the first 15 slides. Here we go. And then the next week I'll do the next 10 slides or whatever it is, but the info will be there for you. Plus you have your textbook, which is just spectacular. So use that. And my goal is to give you the option of taking the E&M test, the E test, I guess, taking that or not, but being able to choose between the two because you've seen it all in an abbreviated, condensed down form, but you've seen it all. So that's my plan. So I think that answers the question.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions out there? All right, so it's 10:22 by my computer watch. So I'll stay on here for about 2 more minutes, 10:25. So feel free to hang out also, or just head on out. But if no one has anything in the next 2 minutes or so, while I'm waiting to see if something pops up in the group chat or whatever else, what I'm going to do is, I know you can still see me, I think, but over on our physics Google Classroom, I'm going to see if there's any posted questions that someone had there. I don't see any there. If I go to my phone and look for remind questions, I don't see anything new posted to remind. What I'm going to do, and obviously as AP Physics students and just AP students in general, you have plenty of other more important things, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer up a modified Physics Olympics to all physics and AP kids. Just there's only, obviously there's only so much time you can sit at a desk working nonstop in quarantine. So I'm going to give you some physics projects that are optional. If you want to build a mousetrap car or a gravity powered car or a catapult or a trebuchet. So I'll do one a week for people that are looking to fill the hours. So I think the first week will be a gravity powered car. So a car where you have some kind of a mass suspended, and the act of it falling down causes the car to roll forward. I'll find a couple links or something. So like I said, if you're looking to just change something up a little bit. So I have my Photoshop buddy already working on a new poster for the new Physics Olympics. So look for that. Hopefully, I don't think he's doing much. He's sitting at home too, so he might be ready in 5 minutes. How long did it take to film the Ant-Man video? Let's see, we watched Ant-Man on Sunday night, I think. And so it's obviously that scene was like, oh, hey, that's like perfect. So I figured we'd reenact that. So I think I shot it. Today's Wednesday. I posted it. I shot it all on Monday, just doing little clips here and there, and then finished up on Tuesday. I had a couple other clips I had to add in, and then the editing. So all told, number of hours, I have probably 3 or 4 hours all told. But just trying to get my reluctant kids to be little actors in there. My son loves to act, but then he's like, "Hey, let's do it." No, I have stage fright. You don't have stage fright, but it's video and editing. All that is something I do enjoy to do, but I never really get a chance to do it. So we'll make the lemonade while we have the lemons. So since there's no, since it defaults, by my choosing, defaults to having you not have a video taken of yourself, and I think you still have the ability to change that. Alex has a little avatar. So either Alex has been patiently sitting on the front of his car, dressed up very nicely, without moving the entire time while talking, or possibly it's an avatar. We're not sure. So at 11 o'clock today, we're going to try to do a FaceTime with my grandmother. She's in her 80s, so she's isolated by herself, and she always kind of is. We get over there to visit, but I only imagine she's pretty isolated, I think, in terms of, at least we have family members to, sit around and drive us crazy. So we're going to try a FaceTime with my grandmother and the great grandchildren and everything else. We're going to try a group FaceTiming today. So that's, pardon me, that's on the to-do list today at 11 o'clock. So until then, that's about all we got going. So it is 10:27, so I'll sign off at 10:30. No new chat items on there. And yeah, it's like I said, it's weird that we're all here. It's surreal, and there's nothing we can do about it except stay healthy, stay sane, and use this time to do something you wouldn't normally do. So I had mentioned yesterday, the second hour, I have nothing against reading, but I haven't read a book in I don't know how long. So maybe I'll sit down and read a book one of these times. There's always something else to do. So are there any more comedy videos in the works? Yeah, possibly. We'll see. I'm not very creative, so I'm creative at taking someone else's creativity and just copying that. I'm good at that. But in terms of other creativity, got some old videos I shot with the kids. Maybe I'll put those out there. But my children want to make some more videos. So I said, all right, well, we have to have a script. They just want to grab a video camera and just start filming. So that's not how it works. You gotta have a storyline. You gotta have people, and you gotta work on the camera angles and the cuts. And then I think I've lost them already. So, but we'll try to do something to pass the hours. But yeah, so I miss being in class. I miss missing just the chats and the physics and everything, as I'm sure you do too. And you're all smart enough to realize what it is that you had, and you're smart enough to know that we got something special in our community. But even all of us that already knew that, you take it away, and it really drives home just how special everything is. Even if it's getting up early and the monotony of going to school, you realize it's not so monotonous when the alternative is sitting in your house all day. But that's all I have for everybody. And the next time I'll be on for AP will be Monday at 1 p.m. again. So every Monday at 1. and every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mrs. Laura wanted to do 9 a.m. And so I said, sure, you can have the 9 a.m. hour. So that's why we switched to 10. So it'll be 10 a.m. Every Wednesday. And if we need to do something else or do something extra, we can always do that. So, but it's 10:30 a.m. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the question. I'll get that saved and posted. There's a lot of lag time with the computer getting it finalized and all that, so it won't be instantaneous, but I'll get that out as quickly as I can. And that should that'll be it. So we'll see you all very soon, and don't be afraid to send questions through Remind or Google Classroom. Those are the two very best ways. Any other way is okay. Those are the two best ways, or in person here. So I wish you all health and wealth and all that other stuff. So bye.